Welcome back onto the field here at High Point Solutions Stadium. I'm Kevin Xavier for the Daily Targum alongside Garrett Stepien, our sports editor. And Rutgers wins in emphatic fashion, a 27-14 victory today over the Jayhawks. Their first victory since 2011 on homecoming against Navy. The run game was going today, Garrett. Over 300 yards in the rush game. They also were able to contain Kansas. The Jayhawks only ran for 64 yards total on the ground after coming in with, highly heralded, I should say, running attack. So what do you think you saw out there on the field today?
Oh, you just saw the emergence of Josh Hicks and Robert Martin. It's plain simple as that. Martin went for 102 yards today. Hicks complemented that with 113 and 2 touchdowns. 305 yards on the ground for Rutgers in total. That's a week after Penn State held them to 43 yards on 32 carries. So a complete flip-flop this week in terms of the ground game on offense. Martin and Hicks really complemented each other, I think. I saw James start out there. He tallied about 57 yards on the ground. But when Hicks and Martin really got going and really got the bulk of the carries, that's when the offense kind of took off. And in the second half, they made life easy for Chris Laviano, who was 18 of 25, 205 yards or so through the air, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. They made life easy for him. He really didn't have to do much of the work in the second half, and it really kind of opened up the passing game a little bit when he did have to. And, Rutgers, the running game really took off this weekend, like I said, after Penn State disaster last week. And on the flip side, with the defense helped Kansas, I believe, well under 100 yards. Kawan Kinner, who came into this game, 2 consecutive 100 yards games, I should say. First running back in Kansas history to start his career with consecutive 100-yard games. Held to 23 yards today on 15 carries, so I think that really speaks for itself. He had 2 touchdowns of 2 yards and 1 yard, but very deceptive when you take a look at the overall numbers. Rutgers defense really stepped up today.
And it was a total team effort on the defensive side of the ball. You had Longa, of course, getting his 8-9 tackles as he usually does, but Kai Hester in his first start, I believe he had 9 tackles, 6 or 7 solos. Chaffee was down in the backfield, got a half a sack, half a tackle for a loss. And Kaiwan Lewis, we really haven't heard a lot from Kaiwan Lewis since he arrived here at Rutgers, the South Carolina graduate transfer. But today he stepped up. He had about 6 tackles, 1 for a loss, got an interception early in the game that kind of turned the momentum. What did you see from Lewis today on the field?
Oh, well, Lewis was kind of like feeding off Long. Long was everywhere on the field. He had his 9 or so tackles that usually is a given. But yeah, Lewis was really stepped up in the passing game, and the running game really helped anchor that front 7 for Rutgers, and they desperately needed that going into today. Without Darius Hamilton, he's out for the season. Julian Pennant-Zodrick stepped up a little bit. Sebastian Joseph went down with injury. You saw Kevin Wilkins come in, a guy like John Badke come in and anchor that line. Kamoka Ture came off the end, had that 1 big sack, 10-yard loss, knocked Kansas out of field goal position. So front 7 really gets a lot of the credit, but yeah, Steve Long and Kaiwan Lewis really helped anchor that front 7 today. And the end result was Kansas's up-tempo offensive attack, led in that running game, didn't really get going. And the end result was a 27-14 win for Rutgers on homecoming.
Now, it wasn't all positive for Rutgers today. I think they racked up another 7 or 8 penalties, which will continue to keep them toward the bottom of the Big Ten in penalties and yards charged for penalties. Janarian Grant wasn't really involved today. 2 catches, 33 yards, didn't do much in the return game. So even with a 13-point margin of victory, you still look at this game and say they probably left some yards, they probably left some points on the field, but they will take it. The Scarlet Knights moved to 2-2 after their win 27-14 today against Kansas at home on homecoming. For Garrett Stepien and the Daily Targum, I'm Kevin Xavier. Have a nice afternoon.